All right, we got Jesse from Brockton on the line. Jesse, what do you got to say to us?
Hey, guys, I was hoping that I could get a chance to talk about a little bit of short track racing with you guys. I know you were talking about the NASCAR stuff, but
Hey, Ben, I recognize his voice.
Who is it?
This guy is Jesse James Jakubajtys.
All right.
And he drives a NHSTRA modified at Hudson Speedway. Am I right? Am I right about that, Jess?
This is true. I am Jesse Jakubajtys, and I race the number 44 NHSTRA modified up at Hudson Speedway.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
So Hudson was the only track that got any racing in, right? Last weekend, Jess? What happened?
Yeah, Hudson, because we race on Sundays, it's a little bit... It helped us out with the weather on Saturday. We were able to get our show in on Sunday, and they had a full card of racing between the modified, dwarf cars, six-shooters, pure stocks. It was a really good day for a lot of people, except maybe me. We struggled a little bit, unfortunately. We put the car on the pole and then got inverted. The start got inverted for the feature. We started fifth and finished fifth. So I don't think it was a real good portrayal of the car that we had, but we still struggled a little bit, and I was hoping for better, but we'll be back at it next time and hoping for more.
So, Jesse, what's a NHSTRA modified? What is that? You know, what's that series about? How do people get involved? What is the deal?
So to start, NHSTRA is the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association, and it's a combination of the Hudson Speedway, Monadnock Speedway, Lee USA Speedway, and Claremont Motorsports Park. And those four tracks have come together to create racing divisions with the same rule packages, and it's actually a great deal. They've really made a great improvements at all the tracks in recent years and made it a great place to race. But the modified specifically that we run are similar to what you would see as a tour type modified, like on the Whelen Modified Tour, but a more affordable class. We race with 604 crate motors, which are about, I don't know, 1/3 or 1/4 of the price of what you would see on the Whelen Tour. And we still run the same tire, the 15-inch wide Hoosier. And the racing is equally as competitive. It's just on a lower level and much more affordable for us.
Now, you're mainly in the New England area racing around, right? Like I know Hudson's in southeastern New Hampshire.
Correct, yeah. So our car really only fits the rules at those four tracks that I named previously in New Hampshire, where it's Hudson, Lee, Claremont, and Monadnock. But, our car, if we did make some changes, we could end up racing as a SK or an SK Light modified down at the Stafford Speedway or the Thompson Speedway or the Waterford Speed Bowl. Or we could take a little bit of a weight break and race with the Tri-Track Series and the Modified Racing Series all around New England.
Now, I don't want this to sound stupid from a inexperienced individual on this local level, but how easy would that be to make those modifications to be able to travel more with the car or maybe go to more tracks and try to just win more races in general?
Well, as far as going down to the Connecticut racetracks, I haven't really looked into it a ton because it's not something that was really on my radar, but I do know that the SK Lights have a smaller motor and a different clutch and transmission package and a different shock package, and so they're essentially a slower version of what I have, a little bit more affordable because they run the 602 crate motor. That's about half the price of the 604 these days. And then an SK modified is a little bit above what I have. They've got a built motor, and they race on similar transmission and shocks. And then as far as the tour type modified goes, there are occasional guys with our crate modified that go and try their hand with Tri-Track and MRS. And they're able to do it. You're able to lay down good laps in practice. And it's really dependent on the track. Obviously, you get to a bigger track like somewhere like Thompson Speedway, 5/8 mile, you're going to really struggle on the straightaways. But if you go to a smaller racetrack, like a place like Hudson would work, or a place like Oxford or Riverside Speedway up in Groveton, those smaller racetracks, you can really use that smaller engine almost to your advantage in those tour-type races and not burn the tires off as bad and take your weight break and attempt to have a good finish.
Jesse, tell us like, you're talking to the fans, right? So tell the fans what they're missing when they're not coming up and watching you on Sunday. And you know what I'm saying. Like, talk about the show and how, because I've been to Hudson, and tell them how Hudson is, like, it really is for the fans.
Absolutely, and Hudson Speedway, it's located up in Hudson, New Hampshire. It takes me, and I'm in Brockton, Mass. It takes me a little over an hour to get there. So from Boston, probably a little bit less, depending on traffic. Obviously, we all know that struggle. But the people, Ben Bazowski and all those, he owns Hudson Speedway, and everyone that's on his crew there has done a phenomenal job in the past few years, improving that place and really making it a fan-friendly environment. And everything from affordable ticket prices, all the things they have for the kids. They have the playground up there. They have occasional, I know they did a face painting thing, and I know that I believe kids under 12 get in for free, so that's a great thing. And additionally, they've recently added a beer garden. So for our adult fans, that's a great opportunity to maybe have a couple cold beers and catch some great racing. But they've just put so much effort and money and everything into that facility to make it great. And it's a great place to race. I know that sometimes people like to take their Sundays and maybe spend it at home with family or something. But to spend it at the racetrack for a nice, affordable, entertaining day is a great time. And I would recommend it to anyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate the call, man. Making my job a little bit easier, giving us a conversation. I appreciate Paul for hitting you up and having us call. Before we let you go, is there anyone you would like to shout out? Sponsors on the car, people that help you out before we let you go?
Oh, absolutely. I have so many people that have been with me, whether it's helping with the car or sponsors, with money and support. I got to thank my mom and dad. They've been allowing me to do this racing deal since I was just a kid, and without them, I wouldn't be able to do it. And then all the guys that helped me at the racetrack and at the shop, it's greatly appreciated. And Paul knows, being a racer himself, it's very tough to find people that are willing to devote time to your cause. But and also all my sponsors on the race car. I've got a lot that have been with me for many years, and they include JR Hudson Horse Transportation, Victory Lane Stables, Honeydew Brockton, Design, Ultimate Pizza, Frank Lamparelli Oil, Wallhorse Trucking, Dalton Water, Ty Kernan Music, and my crew chief, Russ Hersey with HRE, has been great making our race car fast and putting us up front every week.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jesse. That was a great conversation. Please feel free to call back anytime. You seem like you're a well-spoken individual, seem to love what you do, and we always love to hear from people like that.
One last thing. Jesse, you help crew with Jake Johnson too, right? He won a big modified race at Star 2 weeks ago.
No kidding.
Yeah, those guys in this little group of kids. I call him a kid because he's not that old. But this group of kids, they've been out winning everything. And
how about that?
They're helping each other. They're crewing each other. They're doing it together as a team. It's really cool.
That's an awesome thing for motorsports, man. Thank you again, Jesse. We will surely talk to you soon, brother.
All right, thank you guys for having me, and great show. I really enjoy listening.
Awesome. Appreciate that so much. Thank you very much.